This is the plaintiff, Barry Maynard. He says he was hired by the defendant to do some landscaping on the yard she neglected for 8 long years. Needless to say, he did an enormous amount of work on the overgrown yard, and the defendant is playing games with him because he hasn't been paid. Well, the buck stops here because he's suing the sneaky, ungrateful defendant for every penny of the $300 he's owed. This is the defendant, Carmelita Connie. She says the plaintiff told her he could transform her yard into a beautiful landscape masterpiece, and she fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. The hacker sawed off her azalea and hydrangea bushes, and even her blooming flowers, for crying out loud. Pay him for ruining her land? No way. She's accused of cutting a landscaper off.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff did landscaping for the defendant and got stiffed, but the defendant says it was like a chainsaw massacre. It's the case of Whacker. He hardly knew her.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Barry Maynard,
yes.
You are suing Carmelita Connie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For $300 that you say she owes you for landscaping work and refuses to pay you. Tell me what's going on.
Well, the neighborhood that we live in, I do yard work. I cut people's grass, basically. And so 2014, the defendant came to me and asked me, could I do a yard?
Okay, how long had it been since her yard had been done?
It looks like about eight years or more.
It looks like it, or did you ask her?
I didn't ask her, no, I did not. But
How long had it been since you'd had a good...
Nothing had been done prior to the winter. So
it was
the summer before it was done.
All right, so go ahead. Did you give her a price?
Yes, I did.
And the price you gave her was $300?
Right.
All right, so you're going to clean her yard for $300. You go there one day, you work all day, right?
The first
and then
day.
you come back with help.
Yes.
And are they yard men or not really?
Not really.
Okay.
Well,
so something goes wrong, which is the reason that she claims that she's not going to pay you. What is it that went wrong?
I asked the 2 guys to help me, and I told them not to cut the rose bushes. I have the pictures of rose bushes and things like that, not down. I had to go somewhere and come back. So when I came back, she said that they cut them down.
Okay, so according to you, she says that they cut down 2 azaleas in the back?
The side.
Side of the house?
Yes.
Is she angry when she tells you that?
She didn't act like she was angry.
All right, and then what happens? You finish your work that day, and are you supposedly done?
No, we came back to continue to work.
Okay. How many days did it take you to clean up this yard?
3 days.
3 days. All right, so at the end of the 3rd day, you said, okay, it's time to pay me, we're done, and what does she say?
She said that I'm upset. She says I want to be reimbursed.
For the plant?
For the plants. And I told her that the azaleas will grow back. They're going to go back fully.
What did they do? Did they just chopped it right at the root? What did they do?
No, they just, because the pictures I have
Yeah, let me see your pictures.
Okay, in the front of the house has 2 azaleas.
Okay, those are still there. That's not in question.
Those 2 are still there.
That's
Okay.
another person's property, and that's where our place look.
Whose property is this?
That's her property. Those are the 2 azaleas that I cut around.
Okay. What are those?
So it's the same picture, the same day.
Are these the azaleas she was complaining about and they've grown back? These aren't azaleas. These are hydrangea.
Those are roses.
Oh, these are roses?
No,
these are roses?
That's the hydrangea.
I was going to say, man, you grow some serious roses. All right, so according to you, hold on one second. So what happened?
The Sunday of Memorial Weekend is when I first saw him at the house. I came home from church, and he had one of the neighbors with a machete cutting the weed that was growing on the fence.
Okay, but here, so you have neglected the yard because that winter didn't cause that. Neglect caused that. Okay,
definitely.
All right.
Honestly, the yard was not the best looking landscape in the neighborhood. It looked raggedy.
Right. Okay.
I saw the neighbor with the machete taking the weed down, and when they came back and did all the damage, I was told by my daughter that she heard someone in the driveway saying, if it's not a rose bush, chop everything down.
Is your daughter here?
She's back in school in Buffalo.
Do you have an affidavit from her saying what you're saying? Then that's rank hearsay.
Okay, so is the mother stuck because the daughter just stood there and did nothing?
Yeah, she's stuck. She's going to have to pay.
She's going to have to pay even though she doesn't like what...
Yeah, she's going to have have to pay.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
According to you,
Yes.
you had what plants that they chopped down?
Okay, it's 5 azalea bush.
Why would anybody chop down an azalea
I have
bush?
no idea. They were chopped down to the ground.
Do you have pictures?
I have pictures of what's left.
Yeah, let me see. If your daughter heard them say, if it's not a rose bush, cut it down, why didn't she stop them?
I don't know, Your Honor.
I mean, if she
was-
really heard that, I'm just wondering.
did.
What is this?
That is the azalea that's left in the front.
And what's this? It has a number 1.
That's the white azalea that's chopped down. It's just starting to come back. Number 2, you can see the leaves coming back. 3, 4, and so forth.
I mean, I don't doubt that they were there because look at them all just nubbing right out of the ground, right?
If I may continue, you know, when I came home and I saw all of that was gone, I called them and I said, something happened. You didn't call me and explain anything to me. He said, you know, what can I say to you? I'm sorry, it was a mistake and it will grow back. And I said, no.
It will grow back.
True.
Do you have like 7 or 8 years to get it to, you know?
So I said, no, you have to replace my plants.
And he refused?
And he said, if I pay you, after I pay them, I'll get nothing out of it.
Okay. I am seeing an affidavit from one of your neighbors who is saying that she saw the people chopping down most of the bushes and the trees by the fence using machetes, and that she identified one of the fellows doing that as another neighbor of yours. Do you know who that is?
I don't know his name, but it's, yes.
But you know who it is.
I know who it is. And
So yeah, the neighbor was one of the people.
Oh,
Oh, well, you just gave me this. You didn't read it?
Yeah,
Who's
I
the
read
lady
it.
with you? Moral supporter or witness?
My tenant, a witness.
Oh, come on up. Did you see anybody chopping down bushes?
I didn't see anyone chop down
But
the bushes.
But you know there were bushes
But
there.
when I came home that evening, I was like, well, why would she have them cut down all the nice flowers? What's wrong with her?
Right, because you knew the flowers were there from the
Right.
season before.
Right.
Mr. Maynard, listen, I know that you did hard work there. This is not easy work. But if, in fact, your guys, while you left to go do something, chopped down the lady's bushes, you understand, I've priced these bushes. The prices of the plants themselves is more than what your fee was. So why would she pay you?
okay, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, and I understand that they're going to grow back in 5 years. That's 5 years that she's not enjoying her flowers, that her tenant isn't enjoying her flowers. Maybe her tenant leaves and goes somewhere else where there are flowers. You know, you don't know. No, you can't do that. I'm ruling in this case based on what I've heard in favor of the defendant. Good luck.
So the judge rules against you. Step on in here. I guess you made some mistakes on that job.
Yes, I did. No for the next time.
All right, so as far as this decision goes, you agree with the judge?
Partly, but that's the way it goes.
Which part don't you agree?
That first of all, she only showed one azalea, and I'm pretty sure that there was only one azalea that was cut down. So,
That's one too many.
Yeah, true.
All right, around the corner this way. So step on in here, and what's going through your mind here? Come on out.
I'm glad this is over. I was so nervous.
How's the garden?
It's getting back together.
You gonna neglect it for another 8 years?
No.
Are you gonna keep it up?
It's been kept up and it wasn't neglected for 8 years.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, I mean, this is just something you should really know, that if you have work done at your house and you hear somebody saying that they're going to do something and it's not what you want, you have a duty to speak up. If you don't speak up and they do what they said they were going to do, you're stuck.